Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. This is the beginning of part 2 of my 2019 planner and journal lineup. The planners were taken care of in part 1, so if that's what you're looking for, go on over to part 1. I will leave the link down below for you, and we are going to continue on where we left off from that one. So, we are going through some of my journals. And this one right here is my stamp album journal. This is a handmade junk journal that my sister made for me, and I am using it to transfer my stamp collection of the Commonwealth, British Commonwealth. I have an extensive and elaborate collection. I haven't done much in here since the last time I showed it to you. I am up to the 1950s in Australia, but this is a book that, well, not a book, I hope to make it to more books, but this is a pastime working, putting my stamp collection into these books is going to be a lifetime pastime for me. I really enjoy doing it. I need to set aside some more time for myself too. Now, what the heck is, oh, that's not a page. So, yeah. I put stamps on all the little sections that she made, but I turn them around the other way to display the stamps. This one. Like that. Had Antigua, oh, Ascension Island, Antigua. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing in this one. Stamp collection. Now, this next one may look a little strange to you. Why on earth am I doing a journey of daily renewal with Oprah Winfrey? That's because I can't help buying notebooks and journals at the thrift store, and this is what this one looked like. The paper in here is thick. It is really nice, and it's, well, it's 2 pages, but it's still, it's creamy, it's smooth, it's really nice paper, and it's cream. I love cream paper so much. I like it so much better than white paper, so I really had to get it. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I've had it for years, and I got it from a thrift store. So anyways, I decided, okay, you're going to be the next journal that I use. So what I need to do, first of all, is get rid of all the Oprah Winfrey in it, because I don't like Oprah, okay? I can't stand her. So I am getting rid of all the quotes by Oprah, and I also don't like the guy that she did this book with, Bob Greene, because I'm just not into any of her tag-alongs. Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, Bob Greene, none of them hit my fancy, okay? So there are some good quotes in here, because each one starts with a quote. This is by John Dryden. This one's by Rainer Maria Rilke. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but he wrote, I forget the name of the book, but it's a famous book he wrote. I've read it, but I can't remember it. Okay, so there's that. And then every single one of these pages has this thing right here. Now, of course, I could use it. Could fill in how much water, how much fruit and vegetables, and fill out this little thing here all about exercise, but no, that's not me either. So I am decorating that and collaging it through it. And as I go through the book, I am coming up with better and better ideas on how to do that. So it's pretty lame at the beginning, and then it gets better. And it turns into a nice journal. So I wanted to do this on screen with you to show you how you can make any kind of empty journal into your own. First of all, this book starts with this flap right here, and as we notice, it is not serving as the book's cover, because this is bookboard right here. So I'm going to take this off, and you know I have been waiting forever to do this on camera. Okay, so there goes Oprah. Yay. Now what we have is a nice title, A Journey of Daily Renewal. And we've got a picture of a man and a woman swimming towards each other. This is a piece of vellum. It's really nice. And through here we can see a Journal of Daily Renewal. So far so good. This is a blank piece of paper that has that title on it. Nothing on this side. Okay, here's my title page that says by Oprah. And it's got the copyright and everything. I have no need for this page. So I can take that out too. And again we have a Journal of Daily Renewal, and then it starts right here with a Chinese inscription cited by Thoreau in Walden. And what am I doing in this book? I am just writing whenever I feel like writing. I have Asperger's and I am bipolar. My mind does not ever stop. And this is the first time that I've journaled like this in years and years and years and years. And I really didn't think it was me, but I'm just starting to put that stuff down onto the paper. And like here I wrote 2 pages about this pen. I was writing with this pen and I started writing about it, okay? Nothing in here is worth reading. There is no private, I'm not getting my feelings down on paper. That's not me. I'm not journaling my life because I have that. So this is just random topics that I just need to get out of me and onto paper. If you want to stop at any point during this and freeze the frame, zoom in and read what I wrote, believe me, it will put you to sleep. I don't care about you seeing these pages. So as you can see, I'm using whiteout to white out the quote on here if I don't like it, mostly just if it's by Oprah or Bob. I'm trying to date each section every time I come in here to write, which is not every day. This was January 13th, and this was the 20th. Here I did a bit about a book. Here I tried just covering that stuff up with plain paper. Kind of worked. I'm also putting washi tape on the sides of each page. I'm not doing that fold over thingy because I don't want these 2 sides to have the same washi. I want these 2 sides to have the same washi, so it's like framing the page. And that's basically all I'm doing in here, and I'll stop when I get to a good one here. Yeah, so now I'm just cutting pictures out of a magazine to put there. I've started putting some washi up over that. And yeah, I like this one. Very simple collage. And so yeah, I'm writing in this every day, and I am like so happy. Got a pen test page at the back, and I'm so happy that I've just removed all the Oprah from it. I'm probably going to write in it even more now. So it's just a journal. I hope y'all get some good ideas from that. So the next journal that I have right here, I do my covers at the end. There is some, I usually do stenciled collages and mixed media art on my covers. But I do them at the end because I feel like a book doesn't know who it is until it's finished. And then when it's finished, I get an idea for the covers. So when my journals are empty, when they're full, I'll go like this and I'll decorate the covers. And this way we get to see what it is. This is a puzzle book. This book, I am keeping pieces of art that I like in here. This is something that needs to go in. This is Lauren Harris. He's a Canadian painter and part of the group of 7. He's my favorite. And I'm putting that in there. So as you can tell, I'm putting in famous art. I'm also going through the thousands. Okay, maybe 100 or so magazines that I have from way back in the day, from Somerset Studio, and just picking out pictures, not pieces of art that inspire me. I talked about this the first time that I went through this book. I haven't done anything in it lately, and that's simply because I haven't really been looking at any art. But yeah, I will. So, you know, some of the stuff, now this is from an art magazine. Most of it's like real art from art magazines, but here at the beginning. This stuff right here was from an old Cloth, Paper, and Scissors magazine. And, you know, I don't need a magazine from 2004. That kind of art's not, you know, the in thing right now, and I don't need to see pages and pages of it, but I do pull out things that inspire me. Like, I love houses. I love drawing houses. I love looking at houses. I like house art. This is to remind me of that. I also like circles and trees made out of circles and ovals, and that's what this, and again that, and here is to remind me. It's got the houses again. This one right here is twofold. I love owls, and this shows me that I could draw an owl if I wanted to. This is very basic. And it also reminds me to put human eyes on animals, that it looks really cool. Not sure what I saved this one for. Probably because it's a jigsaw puzzle, and I like jigsaw puzzles. I do altered puzzle pieces. And this just gives me a different kind of combination to do with heads, that you can take the bottom half of a head and put something on top, like that. This one right here is to remind me of perspective, that if you put something huge in, it makes it look like a giant against the other thing. So that's it. That's what I'm doing with that journal. Okay, now this big boy right here. This is my Swatch Journal. This is where I swatch all my colors, and I am not anywhere near finished, though I am getting there. None of my acrylics are in here, and I have some new paints, water paints that I've bought recently that aren't in here. But the first half of the book is the brand. I don't know why there's a blank page there. This has, so these are miscellaneous here that I didn't have enough to have its own brand page. These are my Prismacolor Premieres. Some alcohol markers. These are random makers that don't have enough to make their own page. My Ecoline. I was putting my pens in here before I started that pen book, so that page doesn't count. All my chalk pot pastels. I have the Rogeton Color Library of pencil crayons. The mild liners. I haven't added my new ones yet, and so on. The back half of the book is color. So after I've put them in the front, I sort them into Roy G. Biv, then neutrals, then black and white, and then metallic. And I put each color together. So if I'm looking for a red, I can look on here and say, there we go, that's the color I want, and I can use the Tombow ABT number 757. Here's a green. And, oh, I love that color right there. It is number 54 of the Touch New alcohol markers. My ink stamps are in here, my watercolors, my watercolor pencils, just everything. Posca pens, everything is in there. And so this, I took the binding off of 2 of these Canson Mixed Media XL books, and for a while there they had some with 20% more pages in them. So I bought 2 of those, and I only have a few pages that are sitting loose to put in here. And I just changed the rings to these bigger ones here. So hopefully I don't outgrow that. There will come points in time when I'll need to redo a page, but this one right here is my current art journal. So every time I want an art journal, I open up and I art journal on it. This is a composition book, which just happened to have SpongeBob covers on it, but other than that, it's your normal lined composition book. I glue 2 pages together, and then I do my art on it. Now, if you remember, I think it was in part 1 of this, that I showed you my current wipe-off book. Well, this was my wipe-off book previously. So I have all the empty pages in this book look like that. They were used for my wipe-off. They're not pretty. They're not meant to be. I just put whatever I happen to be using instead of throwing away that paint or ink or whatever. I cleaned off my stencils on here so that the blank pages are all like that. Now with a composition book, you really, really want to not have your spine go all crazy and wonky and sideways and everything. Like this book pretty much opens flat no matter where I put it. Well, when we get to the back here, it's not so bad. I mean, like, it's getting more of a leap here, but I'm done working in that part. So how I work in a composition book is I start at the front, I do a few pages, then I go to the back and I do a few pages, and then I find the middle. And that is, you can easily see it here. It's a little hard to find it when you're using the clear book. But then I do the middle, and I do a few pages. I'll do the middle page, then I do this page, then I go over here and I do this page, then I go over here and I do this page. That was 2 singles. Then I go over here, and this is probably where I'm going to be turning to next. And then I do here, and so on. So yeah, that keeps your spine really, really nice in a full composition book. So that's my art journal book. Then I have this, which is new. I made this last month for my Trashy, Smashy, Junky, Funky Junk Journal group, which you can join by going to the link down below. And we had to make a book out of Christmas cards. So I did that. I collaged on the pages. I gessoed over the pages. I made an accordion fold book, which was not the requirements. The requirements was just to make a journal. And so what I'm going to start doing now is I've decided, I think, that I'm going to turn this into a napkin journal. So the next thing I'll be doing in this book is gluing on napkins and finishing off the collages. So that one. This one's just here because I did it last time. This is my address book. It's only my friends and family are in here. I have a different one, which I haven't included this time, of a little tiny pocket-held address book, which I put my my internet swapper pals in. But the reason I included this is because it is going to be part art. I've had this book for years and years and years. Like, here's someone that I used to have a working relationship with, which ended in 2012. And I'm going to start, like, doing doodles, Zen doodles. Well, I'm not going to start. I think I've done the next one. Yeah. I try to cover up everything on here. But yeah, I started on this one too, because this person right here, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, I'm on the 5th address for this person right here. So I've got here and all the way down here to fill in with Zen tangling. So I'd like to work on that more. Then this one here started as a glue book and has ended up being a scavenger hunt or en masse journal, depending on who you follow, what you call it. I believe Caged Fish started it with a scavenger hunt journal, and Shannon Green took it to a viral stage, and she called hers the en masse journal. But anyway, so yeah, the first part of this is glue booking. I decided I wanted to do a bigger book than the tiny one I had been working on before this, and I didn't like it. So I've turned it into, I call it a scavenger hunt journal. So this page I'm collecting vintage children. This page I'm collecting fish. This page I'm collecting nudes. This page, and I'm collecting respectable nudes. This page is waterfalls. This page is finished and it's ships. This page is airplanes, birds, it's finished. And at the beginning of the section where oh no, I know where I did it. On the inside front cover is where I'm writing my index. So the pages already have numbers on them. So I'm keeping this corner free of collage, or I'm ripping it off if I forget, which I pretty much do every single time. And I'm writing down what page you can find that on. So I've still got lots and lots and lots of pages in here. I have to tell you the truth, I had totally forgotten about it. And when I did remember it, I started going through a magazine, and I remembered that I'd had this, but I couldn't remember what any of my topics were anymore. So I need to start going through this and remembering what my topics are and collecting images for it. I have a few here to go in. Okay, just a few more left. This one right here is a very special book, which I wish I would work in more. It's kind of a smash book, but anyways, let me tell you what I'm doing. This right here is a magazine which is falling to pieces, and I am very, very carefully keeping it, pages in order and everything. And the book is a Canadian women's magazine called CHATTY, and it is from the month of April 1989. Well, my firstborn son, my firstborn, was born April 1989. So when I found that, I thought, oh, what a pivotal moment in my life. And so I have started scrapping the magazine. I started at the beginning with the very first page, which was an ad. Okay, this is a composition book, as you can tell. It had a few things in it already, and some of them I wanted to keep. This is a picture that my son drew when he was like, who knows. But I kept it. So anyways, the very first page of the book was this ad. It was a 2-page ad. I cut out some things from it, and then I wrote a little note about it. Like, so I started off by saying April 1989, I was 20 years old. Oh, 20 years and 4 months old. My son was born on the blank of the month, and I had been married for so long. Then I wrote a little bit about Connie Selica. Connie Selica was the girlfriend on America's Greatest Hero. Then I remember her having a regular role on Hotel. And over here on this page, I wrote the chorus to America's Greatest Hero. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free, and so on. So then I turned to the page in the magazine, and we were at the table of contents. and I made this page up from the contributors that month. I wrote just some little, like in a Smash book. This is a picture of Julian Lennon, and it says, oh, I wrote, he's still recording, but not anything good anymore. Here was a picture of 49-year-old Neil Diamond, and I said, he's still going strong. Hasn't had any hits. Has no big hits on this year's album, though. Oh, on this year's, okay. So he had this album come out, and I read the contents of the album, and none of them were a hit. Then the next thing was an ad, and I collaged a few things on here. It was for the Epa Lady. How many of us from the 80s, late 80s, remember the Epa Lady? We all had to have one. And then we got the thing home, and it hurt like a SOB. So anyways, I wrote the little story of the one time I tried my wonderfully new Epa Lady, and so on. And that's what I'm doing. So right here, I've got my next page that I'm going to work on, and yeah, this is going to be some fashions from the 80s that I remember. My sister had one of these jackets, and I used to wear fedoras all the time. Now all the pages in here have actually been covered with something. I've just covered them with magazine ads, scrapbook paper, mostly magazine pages, wrapping paper, so I don't have any blank pages in here. And that's what I'm going to do with this magazine. It probably won't fill up the whole book, but that's the project I'm working on in there. Okay, I have one left. And I started this, I don't know, towards the end of last year. This is a photo album, and what I did was I went through the photo album. This is one of those old kind that had the sticky on it, and I took off the plastic. It comes off, it usually goes along this page and then over here, so you can just pull it right off at 2 pages at once, and that's what I did. And this paper is like really good cardstock, and I'm not doing this with this one, but I think it would be really good to like actually gesso these pages. Oh god, they're stuck together. I think it would be really cool art to gesso these pages because they're textured with those lines, eh? And I mean, they're yellowed and everything, but I think it would be really cool to gesso them and actually do some art on them. So what am I doing with it? I have this stack of papers, which I've had for a while, and they are from 1889 to 1905, and basically they are falling to bits. I mean, just touching them, they're so brittle that every time you touch them, pieces fall off. So I need to do something with these and then get rid of them because they aren't lasting. So I decided that I would take this book and I would start ripping them up and collaging the pages in here to have some background pages. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using, what am I using? Am I using clear gesso or matte medium? I think I was actually using clear gesso because it was thicker. It's thicker, yeah, it is. It's thicker than matte medium, so I'm pretty sure I was using clear gesso as my glue. And it takes a lot because these papers just soak up wetness like crazy. Plus, it's giving them a bit of a cover. So when this book is full, I'll throw away the pages that are left over, and I will gesso on them, maybe with clear gesso again, or maybe with white, and it will be my new art album, my new art journal. So yeah, that's as far as I've gotten, but that's what I'm going to do with that, and I need to get to work on that someday, soon, to finish that off. And that is the end of my journals that I'm currently using, folks. It's a lot, but I think that if you are a collage artist, you probably find yourself in the same situation, and I know there's a lot of journalers out there who probably have a ton of started journals too, but they all have a purpose and they all have a time for me to work in. I'm not working on every one of those every single day. I mean, some of them get used every couple of months, some of them get used, you know, several times a month, and others of them I'm currently actively working in every couple of days or so. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to recommend you have that many journals, but if you do, keep track of them. And, you know, making a video like this is, I hope you've enjoyed watching it, but it's also a way for me to keep track of what I say I'm currently working on. And, yeah, I'm probably finally all talked out. So, I want to give a great big thanks to anyone who has managed to stay with me through part 1 and made it all the way to the end of part 2. I know part 2s of video series usually don't do too well, but if you did watch this, then congratulations to you. I hope I haven't put you to sleep, but hey, maybe you're watching this so that you can get to sleep, and that's okay with me too. So anyways, good morning or good night, and in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.